Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing wherever you are. It's nighttime here. It's pretty cold out there, kind of. And I hope wherever you are, you're warm and cozy, comfy and safe. And life is going your way and you're sorting things out. Tonight, I thought we can have a chat about some of these comments or emails that I received that while you feel that you're feeling better, but you still miss your ex, even though your ex cheated on you. But whether you're a woman or a man, keep saying that I still miss my ex, and what should I do? So let's see what it really means when you talk like that. Two things here. The scenario that your ex has cheated on you and you still miss the ex, and why do you miss the ex now that you've broken up so badly? We have talked about this in several different videos, and I hope that you have enjoyed watching them, and I'm sure if you paid attention to them, you feel better, and you know how vital it is for you to understand how your psyche is playing into it. But first things first. First, about the scenarios that you say your ex has cheated on you, you've broken up, or you decided to break up, and yet you still miss the ex. So what is it that we are really hearing here? If you feel, or one of the people who have sent me an email in that regard, then you must realize that it means that your desire for something, in this case a relationship, in this case your ex, is more important than your principles. It's more important than your center, who you are, what your consciousness is, how you're put together, what is okay or not okay with you, what is your core beliefs, how do you see yourself, what are the guidelines that you use to navigate through life. Which means all of that comes secondary to your pursuit for your pleasure, for your desire, which in this case is pleasure, really. Well, if you feel, if that is the case, then that means your evaluation for your center, who you are, based on what we just talked about, is a number less than the importance and evaluation you give to your desire, which in this case really is pleasure. We're going to talk about this in a second. And if that's the case, and the nature of human being in most cases is to pursue the higher value things and to make a trade-off, to give certain value to receive something of bigger value, and that bigger value to you may not be as much of a value to someone else, but someone else's value may not be as much of a value to you. So it's relevant, but it's relative. But if that is the case for you, which human being usually follows and pursues the higher value thing, then you'll always be in trouble, because you have given a lower valuation about your center, your values, what helps you to navigate and negotiate through life, your system of valuation, and therefore you will always be in pain for lacking ownership or lacking being in contact with something that you desire, because your desire seems to always come first or ahead of what your principles, your respect for yourself and all that is. Which means that your desire is really ruling you, which is connected to your ego, and you end up finding yourself having not much control in life. So, if your ex has cheated on you, don't you think that simply means that's not a suitable situation? How could you want someone, how could you want to dedicate yourself or part of your life, whatever the duration of that relationship may be, to someone who hasn't come to the table on the same footing, with the same stakes, with the same values, with the same commitment? Obviously, it's going to be a lopsided balance. It's not going to be balanced. It's going to be lopsided. It's just not going to be holding its balance, that relationship. So what do you have to do? I think you need to really recognize what defines you. Does the ex define you? The things that define you come from outside? A car defines you, a watch defines you, a home defines you, money defines you, attire defines you, brand name, I don't know, handbag or brand name suit or whatever it is defines you. Things define you. From out there defines you. Or should you be able to define yourself based on what you accomplish in life, how you negotiate life, how you deal with things that happens and comes around you in life? And these are things that you personally can pay attention to it and figure it out and focus on. It's not something that really can be just talked about. You need to think about it thoroughly. That what is it that makes you proud of yourself? To go after your desire at any cost, including the cost of how you feel about being treated? Or to actually stand up for certain values that you have accepted to be what would identify with you and you identify with it, that would define you, that would make you feel these are what I've accepted and I'm going to defend them. Because if you don't value what you have come to agree that would be your system of evaluation and what your worth is, if you can't stand up for that, if you can't protect that, if you can't hold that above many other things in life, then how do you expect others would actually respect that stuff that you have seemed to have agreed to be what defines you? If you don't have enough respect for that stuff yourself, then how would you expect others to treat you right? Of course they wouldn't. People treat you based on the way you treat yourself. If you don't respect yourself, they won't either. It doesn't mean that you should be stuck up, but there should be a balance there. So you should have a certain expectations of behavior towards you, whether you're a man or a woman. Your partner should understand what can be okay, what cannot be okay, on even keel. Both of you should have discussed that before you became serious in a relationship. And if you are serious in a relationship, then therefore it should be all clear what makes it happen and what makes it go down the drain. On that base, you should be very serious about not caving in and bowing to your desires just because you have some relationship or you had some relationship with someone. And if they go out of line, it's pretty much no difference than if they severely, break certain rule of humanity, some rules of civilized world. We're not living in the old eras of anything goes. it's supposed to be a mutual relationship based on mutual respect and understanding. So, respect yourself and understand what is the right thing to do if such things happen to you, and move on and find someone who is willing to commit to the relationship on the same footing as you are willing to commit to. Hope that would be something for you to ponder, and hope it will be something to enlighten you a little bit and let you know how important, valuable you are. And from there, you move on and find a more suitable relationship for yourself. Have a nice day or evening, and talk to you soon.